Thousands of people crowded the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford for a restaurant opening.
YouTube star MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, has more than 100 million subscribers, and now he's got a burger joint, his first brick-and-mortar restaurant.
Until now, the burgers were made in ghost kitchens and could only be ordered on delivery services, so some fans traveled from far away for the big grand opening.
I am absolutely stunned by the amount of people that have traveled here from cross-country, out of the country, and some have never even tried one of these burgers.
It's December 19th, and just ordered this, and it's 10:26 p.m. in Arizona. Ordered from the Val Vista baseline location, and got raw meat.
Back in 2022, MrBeast's burger empire looked unstoppable. More than 2,000 spots worldwide, and money pouring in like crazy every single year. But now, in 2025, that so-called revolutionary restaurant is basically moving around like a zombie brand that doesn't know it's already gone. The last few chains are barely breathing, and the company behind the whole thing is now coming after MrBeast for a $100 million lawsuit. Almost every location has been shut down, and there's only one real dine-in Beastburger left, sitting lonely inside a mall in New Jersey. So today, we're breaking down the wild downfall of Beastburger, how it went from a YouTube master move to something people were begging, please stop serving this to humans, in under 3 years. It's crazy how fast things flipped. To keep it real, the launch was absolutely ridiculous in the best way. December 2020. The world's stuck in lockdown, restaurants struggling heavy, and Jimmy drops a video titled, "I opened a restaurant that pays you to eat at it." He's outside handing people burgers and cash like it's a game show. Sorry for the wait. Here's $100. Here's a free iPad. Here's a whole car. The energy was unreal. Right along with that video, he launches MrBeast Burger. Boom. More than 300 US locations on the very first day. It shot up fast to around 1,700 ghost kitchens worldwide, all running through delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash. The idea sounded like pure genius at first. Instead of spending millions building physical restaurants, MrBeast partnered with a company called Virtual Dining Concepts, and they slid his menu straight into existing kitchens. Your random local diner, chain restaurant, or neighborhood spot could suddenly cook Beast burgers using his recipes. MrBeast provided the brand, the menu, the hype, and the clout. The restaurants provided the staff, the kitchen, and the ingredients, and the delivery apps handled the rest. It was simple, slick, and looked like the future of fast food branding. Struggling restaurants were grabbing onto anything they could during COVID, and for a lot of them, this setup was basically a secret lifeline. They suddenly had extra orders coming in, and Beastburger instantly exploded nationwide. Jimmy looked like the hero who swooped in to save restaurants while selling millions of burgers at the same time. And at first, it really worked. The launch went viral instantly. #1 trending on Twitter. Fans were crashing delivery apps trying to get a taste, and by 2022, the chain reportedly brought in over $100 million in revenue. On paper, it looked like the smartest business move any YouTuber had ever made. But behind the scenes, that was the moment the speed run to disaster quietly kicked off. Because here's the real problem with ghost kitchens. You're not actually controlling MrBeast's burger. You're controlling the vibes. And the vibes don't check food temperature, don't manage quality, and definitely don't make sure the burger even looks right. Since Beastburger was being cooked in hundreds of totally random kitchens, the quality was basically a coin toss. Some people opened the bag and got something decent. Others opened theirs and found patties still raw in the middle, orders missing half the ingredients, and burgers that looked nothing like the promo pics. More like somebody tried to guess what a Beast burger looked like instead of actually cooking one.
Money for you, money for you, money for you, money for you. You better come get a Beast burger. I'm sorry for making you wait. Here's $100. Thank you. You might want to give another 100. It's going to be a second. Chris said it'll be a second. Here's another 100. It's a burger and some money. Alright, it's nice meeting you. Here you go. Enjoy. Dude, I don't have any burgers right now, but here's $100. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man. This is the car I bought. I bought that car this morning on an impulse to give away, and since you got sideswiped, I thought we might as well give it to you. Yes.
No, because I'm just sitting here complaining about how it's going to get my car fixed. Thank you.
No problem. Are you crying? Oh, she's gonna make me cry.
I'm getting nothing like, for real, for everything I got. I don't get nothing handed to me.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this.
There were TikToks of the Impossible Beast style that looked like some bootleg video game food straight out of a PS2 SpongeBob mod. One customer even said they felt like they disappointed their own kids because the order was so bad, only to discover it had been cooked in the back of a random 7-Eleven kitchen. That's how wild it got. And that was the core issue. MrBeast's face was on the brand, but the actual cooking? That was being done by some anonymous line cook in a tiny back room juggling 10 different virtual restaurants at the same time. Even YouTubers like Eddie Burback started investigating ghost kitchens and found single locations running dozens of fake restaurant brands out of the exact same cramped kitchen. Things were already getting messy, and nobody had even seen the real cracks yet. Health inspectors didn't even know half these ghost brands existed, and there was no real system tracking who was running what or where anything was coming from. So anytime someone ordered a Beastburger, they weren't getting some special MrBeast designed kitchen. They were getting a random cook in the back, flipping between 44 different Uber Eats tabs, hoping the frozen patties thawed before the next order came in. Eventually, MrBeast saw the disaster happening online. People posting photos of burgers that looked straight up unrecognizable. Jimmy jumped into replies himself, apologizing, offering refunds, trying to make things right. He even tightened delivery zones in some cities so the food wouldn't show up ice cold. But at the end of the day, none of that fixed the core issue. He wasn't running the kitchens. He was locked into his contract with virtual dining concepts, and the only power he really had was tweeting out apologies. So they switched strategies. If the ghost kitchens were a mess, they needed at least one real spot they could fully control. In 2022, they opened the first physical MrBeast Burger at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, and chaos broke out in the best way. More than 10,000 people pulled up, cops had to be called, and they started handing out wristbands just to manage the crowd. And this time, it actually worked. Unlike the ghost kitchens, this spot had real consistency. A trained staff that only worked on the Beast menu, the right branding, the proper setup, and an actual dine-in experience that felt legit. And funny enough, that location is still standing strong in 2025. Business Insider even reviewed it earlier this year and said the food was solid, the experience was fun, and the whole place felt like a giant MrBeast-themed playground. It was the one bright spot holding everything together. So, whenever Beastburger was under MrBeast's full control, the food was actually legit. But once it got scattered across all those ghost kitchens with faceless cooks, you might get a decent dinner. Or you might get a whole salmonella speedrun delivered to your doorstep. By mid-2023, Jimmy looked completely fed up with the whole situation. In June, a fan noticed his original Beastburger launch video had quietly disappeared from his channel and asked if the brand was done for.
Where's MrBeast Burger? How many of them do you have?
Right now we don't have any physical. We have 1,600 virtual restaurants.
So you order it online and then they deliver it?
Yeah, so like, let's say you own a mom and pop restaurant. You literally just sign up, go through the course, you learn how to make all the stuff on the menu, and you just order our ingredients and our packaging, and then you just flick it on Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and you can start taking orders, and we'll let you keep a majority of the revenue. So it's basically like, it's a win-win for restaurants, especially when COVID first hit. It was like huge for a lot of restaurants because I was pushing it really hard back then, and like some restaurants you were literally laying off people, and then they started serving Beastburger, and some of them doing like 10 grand a week.
And Jimmy finally spoke up. He said he was moving on from Beastburger to focus on Feastables, and admitted he couldn't guarantee the quality anymore because the ghost kitchen system was too messy. He even straight up admitted he signed a bad deal, and the company behind it wouldn't let him pull the plug, even though it was hurting his reputation. Those tweets vanished fast, which basically said everything without saying it. Then in July, Jimmy went full scorched earth. He sued virtual dining concepts in federal court. He accused them of serving food that was straight up not edible, dragging down his reputation, and chasing new signups instead of fixing the quality issues. He even claims they trademarked MrBeast behind his back and locked him out of his own brand's money. The vibe was basically, I gave you my face, my name, and my clout, and you turned it into a joke for terrible food. And honestly, on a moral level, he kinda had a real argument. Most regular customers didn't know what a ghost kitchen even was. They just saw MrBeast Burger, opened the bag, and found a cold, sad sandwich. They weren't thinking, oh, a third-party kitchen messed up. They were thinking, MrBeast served me trash. That's how the blame stuck to him. But then the Uno reverse card slammed down a week later. Virtual dining concepts fired back with a $100 million countersuit against MrBeast. They claimed his public comments ruined their reputation, that he defamed the whole company, and that negative reviews were only a tiny minority. But his tweets made them blow up everywhere. Things went from messy to full-on battle real quick. They fired back, claiming Jimmy was trying to strong-arm his way out of the contract just because he didn't get more ownership, painting him as the greedy one for walking away from a successful business. So now the whole situation turned into something straight out of a courtroom soap opera. MrBeast is literally suing to shut down his own restaurant, while the company running it is suing to keep using his name and squeeze every last dollar out of it. Meanwhile, his fans are still out there ordering burgers thinking it's some wholesome MrBeast project, when behind the scenes, it's nothing but lawyers tossing chairs at each other and arguing over who gets to use the brand next. And from 2024 into 2025, this legal mess hasn't gone anywhere. Beastburger is technically still being operated by Virtual Dining Concepts, even though MrBeast has made it clear publicly that he's done with it and wants the whole thing buried for good. And while this drama was unfolding, the entire ghost kitchen world started falling apart too. That same Business Insider report covering Beastburger also exposed how the whole industry was crumbling. Tons of virtual brands shutting down quietly, customers sick of receiving low-effort mystery meals from unknown back rooms, and health inspectors literally unable to track anything because everything was hidden behind fake brand names. Virtual Dining Concepts was holding on to MrBeast like he was their last lifeline, one of the final big names they had left. It's like watching a once huge gaming crew fall off. The name still exists, but the people who originally built it don't even want to be connected to it anymore. So by 2025, Beastburger isn't just struggling, it's basically a ghost of its former self, limping around while everyone involved wishes it would finally be put to rest. A couple of those virtual kitchens are still hanging on, and that one real location Beastburger in Jersey is still breathing. But besides that, the whole thing is basically on life support while MrBeast is stuck fighting a $100 million lawsuit in court. At this point, the story is simple. The brand is done, and the whole experiment turned into a giant flop. MrBeast focused on stacking up locations instead of locking in real quality, and the trust people had in the brand fell apart fast. So yeah, that's the wild and honestly kind of satisfying fall of MrBeast's Beastburger. It went from a dream project to a courtroom headache in just a few years, and now everyone's trying to distance themselves from the mess while the name barely has a pulse anymore. But what about you? Have you tried it before? Would you still try it today? And do you think the whole thing was a straight-up failure or just a bad business partnership gone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.